Welcome back to this breaking news on Live Impact. We're following a now homicide investigation out of Northwest Charlotte. We know one person has died at this scene here off of Trinity Road. You're taking a live picture now from our photographer and reporter on scene. This kind of showing the road that is still blocked off. We've shown you pictures that we've taken from the area showing a kind of a strip mall situation where this took place. We're not sure if it was outside or within the strip mall, one of the businesses. But you can see this is the road, Trinity Road, the one that is currently blocked off by not just caution tape, but actually police officers as well, not far from Beatties Ford. So this is not necessarily a busy road that's blocked off, but it's very close to a high traffic area. And so we are continuing to hear as we speak from witnesses on the scene, from community advocates, for something like this to happen, you know, in broad daylight on a weekday. Of course, any homicide is upsetting, but just jarring for it to happen at this time of day. So we're going to get back to more from this interview that our crew on scene got with a community advocate who was there.
You guys let me know. Anybody need a white balance? Okay.
We're good?
Yep, we're good.
Perfect. Will you start by just saying your first and last name for me?
Sure. Myra Stewart.
Will you spell
it
that
for us?
Sure. MYRASTEWART.
Okay. And Myra, were you here when this happened, or?
I was not here when it happened. I'm one of the community advocates, one of the community leaders. So usually when things take place in the community, I get a phone call.
And tell me about that phone call today.
Well, I got a phone call, and it was didn't have a lot of information at that moment. Just stating that there had been a shooting at the store, and I said I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm. And then I saw you reconciling people over here and speaking to people over here. What are you hearing from residents who were here at the time
About the
incident, the shooting?
Just that there was a fight that broke out, and then shooting started to take place.
And so you represent this area. Could you talk a little bit about just the crime in the area in general, or are you shocked at all? Or
No, absolutely. I was raised in this community. This type of violence is not normal for our community, and we as a community stick together to make sure we prevent this type of violence from happening. Our neighborhood association, we meet once a month. Police are always present to make sure we report what types of crime is taking place in the community, and then they make a report to us about the calls that were made to them. So the crime rate has been down in our community. We do community events, prayer walks, parades, you know, to make sure that we let our community know that we want to prevent this type of violence in our community.
How important is it to have those meetings? You said police are involved in making this area safe and having that relationship.
Oh, it's very important, and they're very active, and they've really been doing a great job with supporting us in this community.
As a community advocate, to see a young woman out here in hysterics after something like this, not even knowing the connection, I don't know the connection she has to this, but what is it like for you to get that call and come out here and see this?
It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking to lose a loved one, and sudden death is the worst type of death, and it's just really heart-wrenching to see.
What will you and the community do to come together right now?
We always come together in times like this. We feed the family, we send flowers, we show up as a community at homes, even when it's not a violent act. When we lose people in this community, period, we show up as a community.
Is there anything else you'd like to? Go ahead.
Talk about this shopping center being the center of the heartbeat of Trinity Park.
So yeah, this shopping center is the heartbeat of Trinity Park. It's where we gather, it's where we meet. I mean, for fun activities. This is not an area where every time you turn around there's some violence. Like I said, once a year, well, several times a year, we have cookouts, we have, prayer walks and parades, and when we have cookouts, we feed the whole community. I mean, we have and I'd really like you to, if you can, really make it known that even once a year, we we have a huge event where we give back. We give book bags to our students when they're going back to school, and we have a huge cookout, bouncy houses, and I mean DJ. I mean, we really focus on being a close-knit family here.
And so with this being a close-knit family, just how gut-wrenching is it when something like this happens?
It is gut-wrenching and it's hurtful. And most of the time it's not from within our community. It's the outsiders that come in and you know, make this type of violence happen.
Anything else you'd like to add in?
You know, again, you know, my heart goes out to the family. I'm very sorry that this happened, and we'll do everything that we can to prevent anything further from happening like this. So if it's more police activity that we need to see, or put a tower out here, whatever we have to do. I have a direct number to the police captain because they've made themselves available to us. So whatever we have to do to prevent this from happening, we'll do it. And we want to be here for the family as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name or the spelling. What was it?
Myra Stewart, MYRASTEWART.
All right, so that was an interview that we got on the scene of this homicide within the last 20 minutes with a community advocate. And you can hear a reporter there asking about just the heartbreaking situation here, the violence in the community, the need for police officers in this region, and just the emotions of the community right now. There are still witnesses there talking to officers. Even the interviewee and the reporter asking about a young woman in hysterics, they say, that's on the scene. So this is obviously still very fresh. This is happening right now. A really heartbreaking scene that we are going to keep trying to learn more about. But as I mentioned, one of the questions was about the need for police in this area. I mentioned this is Northwest Charlotte, near Beatties Ford Road on Trinity Road. And this is an area where we have seen multiple instances of violence over the last few years. So James, you've actually pulled up some data from this region. So what do we know about the history of homicides and violence in this area?
Yeah, you can see the map. You can see the map that was just on the screen there, Julie, and we're going through this data in real time with you, but we can look at open data that is available to us from the city of Charlotte that shows homicides over the last several years. So we're on Trinity Road right now, and we're going to click through these because you heard the community advocate there talking about their relationship with police. And so you can see every one of these dots along Trinity Road represents a homicide investigation in the last decade and change. And starting right at the intersection of Beatties Ford Road and Trinity Road, we can see that CMPD has a record of a homicide that occurred there in 2020. We have two more as we continue down Trinity Road. These are both near Evanshire Drive. One of them was in the year of 2017. Another one in that same general area was in 2019. As we continue a little bit further down Trinity Road near, let's see, this is going to be like Feldbank Drive.
Okay.
We can see we have another dot here, Julie. This one is from 2021. The most recent dot comes just about a block or two south of Trinity Road on Beatties Ford Road as you head back towards Sunset, and this one occurred just in September of this year. So we can see there are a number of recent homicides over the course of the last few years in this general area. And here again now a map of where we are today with a fresh homicide investigation underway.
And that really speaks to exactly what that community advocate was speaking about for the relationship with police in the area. And the need for police in this moment. You saw dozens on the scene right now, some of them likely a similar scene they've been to before in this area. Bringing you back to this video from earlier with those police, with the officials, with multiple vehicles, you can see that they're really congregated outside of what appears to be a barber shop. We're not sure yet again, where exactly this homicide occurred. We know it was likely within this blocked off region, but we don't know if it was within one of the businesses, if we know it was outside in the parking lot. Really, at this point, all we know is that one person has sadly died, and they are investigating who did this and what happened here. I know that we are awaiting sound, an interview any minute now with an official, so we're really looking forward, of course, to hearing from police on this investigation, hoping to get some of those answers to those questions I just brought up of who did this, who is the victim, what was any sort of motive? Is anyone in custody? Was it inside the business, related to it? So many things we still have to learn. James, do we want to take a quick break, or do we want to hold and wait until...
And that is always the tricky part. I think we'll just stand by here a minute, Julie, as we await to hear from that public information officer or spokesperson for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department here. Looking at the live pictures, while we were listening to that interview from the community advocate, we did see a CMPD vehicle drive up, kind of a large van.
Yeah.
That is their crime scene investigation, their CSI. Came down this street just in the last about 10 minutes or so to join the other CMPD officers that are on scene. We're continuing to look at that road closure right here, again in Northwest Charlotte, and we should be hearing if it's either going to be a public information officer, sometimes it's like a captain, and we actually heard the woman who our reporter was speaking with say that she actually has the direct phone number to that captain who's in charge of this region, a part of that community relationship that we know CMPD tries to build with their community. So that might be the person that we hear from here in the next few minutes, as we are now looking at about 2:20 in the afternoon on this Wednesday.
Yeah, just as we've talked about too, heartbreaking for this to happen anytime, but particularly in broad daylight at a business where you'd imagine there are patrons of these businesses that were witnesses to whatever happened here. As I've said, a barber shop really seems to be where they're congregated around. You can also see like a market, a laundromat, so all...
Might be several different businesses in this little area here.
Yeah.
As we learn more exactly, GTR Market and Laundromat. I've seen a sign that also said that parking was reserved for Lindsay Enterprises. We don't know exactly where the homicide may have occurred, but we're just looking at businesses that have signage inside of the crime scene here.
It actually looks like, and I could be wrong, but either the captain or information officer is approaching reporters now, so hopefully that means that we're going to get some of that information very soon here. But even in this live picture, we've seen people get turned away. That kind of speaks to this being a road that people use quite often. So people just going about their daily errands, whether they're coming home from work or from school, getting turned away here. So hopefully this officer is on his way to give us some more information.
Yeah, I'm listening right now to the audio from our camera in our ear, and they're doing microphone checks, and we're being told in just a moment we'll be getting that update we've been waiting for from this latest homicide scene here in Northwest Charlotte. And I think as soon as this gentleman gets here, we'll be able to hear. We can see a sign in the background,
Yeah.
Julie. Welcome to Beatties Ford Park and Trinity Park community. That is the scene of this ongoing investigation.
As we zoom out too, like we're able to see the park there, how close it is, and also just how large this blocked off area is too. Like we're right outside, we're as close as we can get, but it's a significant area that is blocked off still for this investigation.
Yeah, as our crew gets their camera focused here, we're going to listen in to this update from CMPD.
First and last name and title, please.
Michael Anderson, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N, Patrol Major, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. At around 1:05 p.m. today, we received multiple calls for service at the 9100 block of Trinity Road. In those description, the call for service stated that one male victim had been shot. Officers arrived on scene and did locate one male victim suffering from a apparent gunshot wound. CFD and medic arrived on scene and did try to provide life-saving measures, but due to the extent of the injuries of the victim, they were pronounced deceased on the scene. One of the things that we're asking for, calling for from the public, if anybody with any information, to please utilize Charlotte Crime Stoppers at 704-334-1600 or utilize Charlotte P3 Tips mobile app. I will take some questions at this time.
We're hearing this stem from an argument. Is there any information you can give us on that?
I don't want to speculate at this time on that. We're still in the preliminary investigation. As you see, our men and women are working diligently and hard back here to make sure that we give justice to the victim and the family.
And so the shooting happened inside or outside?
At this time, everything that we're seeing on scene, that it did happen outside.
of the barbershop?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
While you're asking for public help, that means you don't have a suspect in custody?
At this time, we do have some information that we just can't put that out right now, just for the integrity of the case.
Is there any information asking for the public's help? Do you guys have, is there a car description? Is it one person? Is it multiple? Is there anything that people can look out for?
At this time, like once we get this additional information, we'll make sure that information is put out through our PIO office. We really want to hold the integrity of that, make sure we have the right information. We don't want to put out information that is wrong and then have to rescind that back.
Any other injuries on scene? Was it just one person shot?
Oh, it's just injuries to one person.
Community shouldn't be alerted or anything at this time. It seems to be one-on-one case.
Yeah, at this time, it's no concern to the public. This does appear to be an isolated incident. If we do get any information, any concerns to the public, we'll make sure that we'll get that communicated out.
One more question. Do you believe at this time that they were known, the suspects and the victim, to each other?
Yeah, we're still working through that. That's still preliminary right now. But the way that things are looking, that is the kind of way that it's going right now.
You want to do one more just community real quick?
Sure. One more community call to action.
Yeah, call to action. We have community advocates out here that say they work really closely with CMPD and appreciate the tight-knit community and everything that you guys have been doing with them. Anything you want to say to the community out here?
I will say thank you for the community's support and help. We couldn't do our job without them. Want to keep on. If you see something, say something. It takes their eyes and their ears in order for us to go out here and do our jobs. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Do you have any additional questions for me then?
All right, so you were just hearing live as it happened. An officer from CMPD describing the situation here. Suspect still trying to figure that out right now. They have some information, they said, but they're not able to release it at this time. What we do know is that, again, one person has died from a gunshot wound. This happened outside of the barber shop, so not within any of those businesses that we've been referring to within the strip mall. So lots of questions still to be answered. Our Anna King is going to stay on scene to hopefully clear that up and hopefully get some more information soon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.